English Leap Podcast. English for daily life.
Have you ever started a movie in English feeling really motivated, thinking, okay, tonight I'm going to practice my listening, and then 5 minutes later you're completely lost? You recognize a few words, you understand the general situation, but the actors are speaking so quickly that it almost feels like a different language.
Oh, absolutely. And what makes it even more frustrating is when you turn on the subtitles and suddenly realize you actually knew most of those words. You just couldn't hear them when the actors said them naturally. That used to happen to me all the time.
Exactly. And then you start wondering, maybe movies are just too difficult for my level, but usually that isn't the real problem. The problem is that nobody really teaches us how to use movies to learn English.
So today we're going to make movie night a little easier and hopefully a lot more useful for your English. Hey everyone, I'm Alex. Welcome back to English for Daily Life. If you've been here before, it's great to have you with us again. And if this is your first time here, make yourself comfortable.
And Maria, here we practice useful English through relaxed conversations. So grab a coffee, tea, or whatever you're drinking and just listen along with us.
And before we start, if you enjoy learning English this way, subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep making these episodes, and we'd love to have you back for the next one.
Okay, Alex, I have a question for you. When you watch something in English, are you a subtitles person? Or do you try to be brave and watch without them?
Honestly, I'm somewhere in the middle now. But years ago, I was definitely a subtitles person. The problem was that I usually watched with subtitles in my own language, so I thought I was practicing English, but really, I was mostly reading.
Same. I would finish an entire movie and feel very proud because I understood the story perfectly. But if someone had asked me, what English expressions did you hear? I probably couldn't have told them anything.
I think that surprises a lot of learners. You can understand your English teacher, you can follow a learning podcast, and maybe you can even understand YouTube videos. Then you put on a normal movie and suddenly your listening level seems to disappear.
There's a good reason for that. In learning materials, people usually speak clearly and finish their sentences. In movies, you might also have music, background noise, or another person talking at the same time.
Exactly. Movies are messy because real conversation is messy too. People interrupt each other, they mumble, they speak with emotion, they shorten words, and sometimes they don't even finish a sentence because the other person already understands what they mean.
And actors can whisper. Why do they whisper so much? Sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, please, you have a microphone. Use it.
That is one of the great mysteries of cinema. But that difficulty is also what makes movies useful. You hear real rhythm, emotion, and pronunciation, and little by little your ears get used to it.
One of the biggest mistakes I made was believing that learning from a movie meant understanding every sentence. The moment I heard one word I didn't know, I would pause, look it up, write it down, and replay the scene.
And after half an hour, you'd realize you had watched about 3 minutes. At that point, you're not enjoying the story anymore because you've turned something relaxing into a listening exam.
Exactly. Now I think about it very differently. If I understand what's happening, who is talking to whom, how they're feeling, and the main idea of the conversation, that can be enough. I don't need every little word.
Context helps you much more than you think. Imagine a character walks into a room looking angry, throws their keys on the table, and starts complaining. Maybe you only catch work, manager, and today. You probably already understand that something happened at work.
Right. You don't need to stop because you missed one sentence. Sometimes you can let it go and keep listening. Once I stopped trying to understand 100%, movies became much more enjoyable.
And that's probably the best mindset to keep. Your goal isn't to understand everything. Your goal is to understand a little more than you understood before.
There's another thing I wish I had known earlier. You don't have to study the whole movie. People often imagine sitting there for 2 hours with a notebook, pausing every scene.
Which sounds terrible, honestly. I still want movie night to feel like movie night. I want to follow the story and relax, not feel like there's a test at the end.
Exactly. One easy way to do it is to watch the movie normally first. Enjoy the story. Laugh, relax, eat your popcorn, whatever you normally do. Then later, choose just one scene that you liked.
And it doesn't need to be long. 2, 3, or maybe 5 minutes is enough. A short conversation at a cafe, 2 friends talking, a scene at home, something with useful everyday English.
That makes a big difference because now you're working with something small. You can listen several times without getting tired, and each time, you notice something new.
Okay, so let's say I've found a scene I like. It's 3 minutes long. What should I actually do with it without turning it into a huge study session?
I'd use a simple 3-watch method. The first time, watch the scene normally. Don't pause it or open a dictionary. Your only job is to understand the situation and the general feeling.
So maybe I ask myself, who are these people? What are they talking about? Is this conversation friendly, awkward, serious? I'm basically looking at the big picture instead of individual words.
Exactly. For the second watch, turn on English subtitles. Now you can connect the sounds you heard with the words on the screen, and suddenly a lot starts to make sense.
That's usually where I have the, oh, that's what they said moment. You read the sentence and think, wait, I know every word in that sentence. How did I not hear it?
That happens because spoken English changes. Words connect, some sounds get weaker, and a sentence like, "What are you doing?" can sound more like, "What are you doing?" Then, for the third watch, turn the subtitles off again and just listen.
And the funny thing is that the same scene often sounds clearer the third time. It hasn't actually become slower, of course. Your ears just know what to listen for now. There's a lot of advice online saying, if you want to learn English, never use subtitles. I can imagine a beginner hearing that and feeling like they're doing something wrong every time they turn them on.
I don't think subtitles are the enemy. It depends on how you use them. If everything is subtitled in your own language, your brain naturally focuses on reading because that's the easiest option.
English subtitles are different because your eyes and ears are working with the same language. You hear, "What are you doing?" and at the same time you see those exact words written on the screen. That connection can be really helpful.
And if you're a beginner and you're completely lost, it's okay to quickly check the meaning in your own language. There's no prize for suffering through a scene you don't understand. Just don't stay there forever. Come back to English when you can.
I like that. Your own language subtitles are the emergency button, not the default setting.
Now, we need to talk about the notebook problem because I used to think a good study session meant finishing with a huge list of new vocabulary. If there were 20 words I didn't know, I wanted all 20 in my notebook.
I did the same thing, and somehow I always ended up writing down incredibly specific words that I would probably never use in a normal conversation. You watch one historical movie and suddenly your notebook has words about kings, castles, and medieval fortresses.
Very useful when you're ordering coffee on Monday morning. 1 cappuccino, please. And where is the nearest medieval fortress?
See? Essential English. But seriously, choosing a few useful expressions is much better than collecting every unfamiliar word just because it appeared once.
Exactly. Pick 3 to 5 expressions that you can imagine yourself saying, like, "Give me a second, what do you mean? I'm not sure about that." It's up to you, or are you serious?
Those phrases come up again and again in real conversations. And because you learned them inside a scene, you also remember the situation and the tone that went with them.
There's also one thing that can feel a little silly at first, especially if someone else is in the room, repeating the actors. But it works really well because you're not only learning the sentence, you're copying the rhythm, the stress, and the emotion behind it.
Let's say the actor says, "Are you serious?" But you could pause the movie and repeat it in a flat voice. Are you serious? Technically, the words are correct, but nobody really talks like that.
So instead, listen again and copy how the actor says it. Maybe they're surprised. "Are you serious?" Maybe they're angry. "Are you serious?" Same words, completely different feeling.
And it makes pronunciation practice more fun. You're not sitting there repeating random textbook sentences. You're pretending to be part of the scene for 10 seconds.
Exactly. Be dramatic. Nobody needs to know.
We should probably mention that not every movie is equally useful. If the language is far above your level, you may spend the whole time feeling lost instead of noticing useful English.
Definitely. If you're still building your listening confidence, I wouldn't start with a complicated historical drama where everybody has a strong accent and spends 2 hours discussing politics from the 18th century.
That sounds suspiciously specific.
I may have made that mistake. For most learners, everyday stories are easier comedies, family movies, romantic comedies, or simple dramas where people talk about friends, work, relationships, and normal life.
Another good idea is watching something you already know. If you've seen the movie before, you understand the story, so your brain has more space to focus on the English.
That's one of my favorite methods. You're not constantly thinking, wait, who is that? Why are they angry? You know the story. Now you can pay attention to how people actually say things.
Let's make this practical. Imagine someone listening to us wants to try this tonight but doesn't want to spend an hour studying. What would you recommend?
Keep it to about 15 minutes. Choose one short scene and watch it once normally. Then watch it again with English subtitles and choose only 3 useful expressions. 3, not 15.
I feel like somebody listening right now has already opened a notebook and written down 12.
I know, put the pen down. After that, watch the scene one more time without subtitles and repeat 2 or 3 lines aloud. That's enough. You've trained listening, picked up useful vocabulary, and practiced pronunciation without turning the whole evening into homework.
And because it's only 15 minutes, you can actually repeat it a few times a week. That matters much more than one giant 2-hour session you never want to do again.
Okay, let's do a tiny example. Imagine this is a movie scene. 2 friends are making plans for the evening, and one of them has had a busy week.
All right, I'm ready for my big acting moment.
Alex, are you coming with us tonight? We're just getting something to eat and maybe watching a movie after.
I'm not sure. I've got a lot going on this week, and honestly, I'm pretty tired.
Come on, you need a break. You've been working all week, and you said you wanted to get out of the house for a while.
Okay. You convinced me, but I'm not staying out until midnight.
See? Very normal English. Maybe the first time you only catch tonight. Not sure, tired, and you need a break. You would still understand the situation.
On the second watch, the subtitles might help you notice I've got a lot going on, meaning you have many things happening in your life, and you convinced me, meaning Maria changed my mind.
Those are exactly the expressions I would keep. They're natural, useful, and easy to imagine in your own conversations. You don't need 10 more words just to fill the page.
Before we finish, let's do our vocabulary spotlight and keep 4 useful expressions from today.
First, get lost. Here it means you stop understanding what is happening. For example, I understood the beginning, but then the conversation got too fast and I got lost.
Next, keep up. To keep up means to follow something that is happening quickly. You could say, the actors were speaking so fast that I couldn't keep up.
Third, pick up. If you pick up a word or expression, you learn it naturally by hearing or seeing it. For example, I picked up a few useful phrases from that show.
And one more. I've got a lot going on. It means you have many things happening in your life. It's a very natural way to say you're busy.
So, get lost, keep up, pick up, and have a lot going on. Try using one after this episode. It's a small thing, but it helps the expression stick.
You know what I like about learning English with movies? It doesn't always have to feel like studying. You can enjoy the story, laugh, relax, and still train your ears at the same time.
I think that's the best part too. You don't need to understand every word or fill 10 pages with vocabulary. One short scene, a few useful expressions, and a little repetition are already enough.
So next time you suddenly think, I have no idea what they're saying, don't decide that your English is bad. Give your ears time. Use English subtitles when you need them, and listen again.
And if you enjoyed spending these few minutes with us, subscribe to English for Daily Life for more relaxed conversations like this one. We'd love to have you back next time.
And tell us in the comments, What movie or TV show would you love to understand in English without subtitles? I'm curious to see what everyone chooses.
Thanks for spending some time with us today. Keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the movie.
See you next time. Bye.